Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ian. Very welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever you might be in the world. I'm delighted not to see you. I'm delighted to know that some of you have already said that you will look into this tomorrow, later today, depending on where you are. So without further ado, I would like to open this final meeting within the Mentorship Program 2018 and 19. And I will go through the results, both from the check-ins that I've done, but also from the survey, and then also, of course, talk about the possible next step. But before I do that, I'm very honored to have Åsa Persson here today, and she will just give us a few reflections. Thank you, Åsa.
I will. And so I will begin by saying that I'm very jealous of especially the mentees. I understand the mentors have also got a lot out of this program, but looking back at my career, I have had very good role models in SEI and also outside of the organization, but definitely I think I could have developed and grown much more and in different areas with a more formalized mentorship program. And also given that we at SEI, we work in sort of quite different fields, ranging from how to navigate among policymakers, how to be a diplomat at these big international meetings, for example, or work at community level with people. And then we also do some academic work, and that's also another complete world to understand and navigate how to publish, where to publish, etc. So I think mentorship is really important, and I'm really thrilled actually that you, Mia, when you joined us as a very experienced human resource expert, has kind of built up this program. So we make a good investment and we take it seriously. And also, Mia, you shared with me the evaluation just before this session today, and you will present it. But I was very thrilled to see, as part of the management, that there was such a positive feeling, both by mentors and mentees, including things like getting a better understanding what it's like to be a junior colleague and a senior colleague, so that we increase the understanding in that relationship and also across our centers. So that was really great to see. And I hope we can take this forward and also create this feeling. I saw one of the quotes was that I feel like SEI is investing in me. And that's, of course, something we want everyone to feel. And this program is a very concrete way, I think, of addressing that sort of desire. So it'll be, interesting to see the full evaluation and how we can take it further. And also, I would like to ask all mentees and mentors to pay it forward. I think this was a Steven Spielberg film, but I mean, the idea is that if someone helps you in some way, you also try and multiply that and sort of spread. So please, all mentors, educate your colleagues how our sort of mentees are experiencing SEI, and vice versa, the mentees to sort of start mentoring, of course, yourself in different ways. So thank you, Mia, for setting this up and doing it, and thank you everyone who participated.
Thank you, Åsa. And just as Åsa said before, I will now go through the presentation or the survey itself, and also the check-ins. And don't you worry, as always, I just use you as quotations, so everyone will feel quite safe. So let's get started then. Obviously, again, this is related to the people agenda. This time we refer to the development phase of it. And just like Åsa was saying, this is kind of development both for mentors and mentees. And I'm very, very pleased to see that some of the mentors we had in the first program, because this is obviously the second program, we kind of have reused them and they have developed further. So that's fantastic. I think that's very good. Just a reminder, I keep doing this just to keep us on track, and this was the aim of the program and also the aim of the first program, to give the best possible support for new or younger employees in order to gain insights and develop their personal skills, research projects, management together with a more experienced colleague, the mentor. And the mentor will be given support in how to focus and develop. And I just want to stress one more time that the mentor is there to provide support to you for your personal development. The ongoing development is something you discuss with your line manager, of course. But I mean, the mentor is there to support you in that dialogue, but also to make sure that you have a good progression and that you get positively challenged in a different way that your line manager might do. Scope and duration, we started the 24th of September last year. God, we've gone nearly 1 year older, all of us. And we also decided we should have 4 meetings. So we've had the 4 meetings. We had the follow-up every time and the check-ins and everything. And I know that you all have had lots of meetings in between. And I always say that the mentorship program is one program, however, consisting of 17 projects. Because you all come from different directions in life, and you are in a different place in life, and you have different ambitions, and it needs to be just where you are to meet the mentee where the mentee is. And that's one of the reasons why I think the first meeting that we had in September 2018 was so important, because that hopefully gave you the framework on the program. What I've done this time, I've done individual dialogues with this time 14 mentees and 13 mentors, so one-on-ones. So in total, you know that we have been 17 mentors and 17 mentees in the program when we started. Some has left the program due to the fact that they left for studies or ran out of the job, and that goes for mentors as well. We replaced one mentor when Linda Bell left, and Matthew Feely was kind enough to accept to become the mentor for that. So that's we're very pleased. Thank you so much, Matthew, if you're seeing this. The response rate for the survey is 82%, which I think considers good. I was hoping for 100, but I mean, there you go. Mentees 86, 88, and mentors 76. And to be quite honest, my biggest concern is obviously you mentees. The program is there for you. Obviously, the mentors are extremely important as well. But I'd like it that's a bit more mentees responding anyway. Again, just want to stress the obvious. When I do have the one-on-ones, I do report back to everyone. I never say who said what. I know that obviously, but that will never. I never ask about what you talk about because that's confidential. I just make sure that you have an ongoing process and whether I need to intervene or support in any way. And that goes for both mentors and mentees, of course. So the frequency, in summary, most are between 9 and 11 meetings during the program, which is good, because I said every 6 weeks, so that's good. Some has a bit more, some a bit less. To start with the survey then, first of all, I want to make sure that I could see the responses both for mentors and mentees, if I could see any differences there. So there were 13 mentors and 15 mentees that has responded to it. So let's go into the mentee responses to start with. As a mentee, I feel that the use of time with this program has been, and there you can see responses, very good or good. So no one stated either or, not so good or not good at all, which I think is very good, obviously. The reason is I always come back to this question, because I've been running these kind of programs for 20 odd years now. I always have this question, because the most important feedback in this program is how you feel when you're in the program. We cannot decide for the program that everyone should do X, Y, Z. It all depends on where you are in your private life or in your professional career and what you want to discuss. So we discuss sometimes whether we should have more or less structure in the program, but I will come back to that. But that's a very good result, I think. And a bit tricky question from your perspective. Are you satisfied with your contribution as a mentee? Have you been driving the process, as I said that you needed to do when we started, that you have the agenda, you need to drive the process, you are in charge of the process. The mentor is there to support you in this journey. However, you need to drive it. And yes, you are. Do you think your mentor is satisfied with your contribution? And equally here, you all seem to be happy and think, I have contributed, and that I believe I have. And the reason I ask this is that whether you believe that your mentor has been thinking about, is she or she driving the process? And you have said that you believe that. So that's very good. Do you think that you and your mentor will continue to have contact? Some said 8 said yes, and 7 were unsure. And I know that a few has called me and said, could we possibly continue? And I said, that's absolutely fine. We closed the program, but still, as Åsa says, if you want to continue the dialogue one way or the other, you're completely free to do so, obviously. However, you will not have me breathing down your neck, and I will not do any follow-up. I will not force you to send in a service or anything. So you get rid of me and just have the good parts left, and that's fantastic. Again, or have you delivered feedback? And 10 said yes, 5 said no. And this is the homework I gave you in June. So I will come back to that. If you haven't done it, I will force you to do it, because it's such a big challenge. And it's a very good training opportunity in a safe environment, both to give and receive feedback. Because that is a true gift. It's a gift to give feedback in a professional way, but it's equally important to receive feedback in a professional way. So I know it's very easy to say, I think you're absolutely brilliant and fantastic. However, that last part of the sentence is a bit trickier to give. But still, as I said, if you can provide good, honest feedback to someone, that will really help them to develop. And that goes for mentors and mentees alike, or managers or employees or anyone, of course. So, and I know that some of you actually, but sending in the survey, sending on the site, sending emails, sorry me, I had to say no, but I will do if we have plans. So I think you're doing great, so you will get it anyway. And especially if you're a mentor, you should request it if you haven't been giving it. So, because that was the gift that you were supposed to give to your mentor. And also, would you recommend SEI to start a new program? And all of the mentees said yes. Yes, we would like you to start a new program. In addition, this time you had the possibility to write a bit more freely. So this is just, again, copy paste from the survey. It's not changed anything. So these are all the responses coming from the survey. And the feedback there, you see already, even in the survey, someone wrote, sorry, I haven't, but I will give feedback, I promise. Can we continue with the new mentor next year? If not, can we continue with our current mentor next year? I would not want to see this program go away. And of course not. I mean, that's up to you and your mentor. If you have the time and if you want to continue, it's absolutely fine by us. We have no obligation that you need to stop. And I will come back to a possible new program, but that will not start, at least not until spring anyway. So your mentor is a free agent for now anyway. Thank you for the great program, and thank you so much for participating. 1 year is a bit short, especially if you are to have monthly updates. Just put on my glass, I can't see anything. That's age for you. Sometimes you might go for 2 months without a meeting, depending on circumstance. What constitutes to be biannual? That is something that quite often comes up at the end of a mentorship program. To start with, some people say, isn't 1 year a bit long? And then when you approach the end of the program, some people say, isn't it a bit too short? I don't think it should be biannual. I think it should be 1 year. If it's a program, it should have a starting point and an ending point. And it should be a structured way within that year. After that, it needs to fly on its own. And I think that maybe after a year, as I said, then you need to sit down with your mentor and think about, okay, should we continue? Are you interested to continue? What would you like to discuss in the next meeting? So we do kind of an assessment of the year and look back and say, do we want to continue or not? And not just go on. Continue with the mentees before I go to the mentors. Awesome program for me. I have learned so much about myself during this year. Quite a few people said that. That's fantastic, I think. I'm really pleased. And as I said in the first meeting in September last year, I've had a mentor for many, many years, and I also have the privilege to be a mentor to an external, and it's so rewarding, I would say. So interesting and so challenging and so fantastic to have someone to look into you from the outside. Someone's being dead honest to you all the time. And I think that's fantastic. Very good to have a mentor in another center, and that's always going to be the case as long as I'm in charge of the program. The cross-center bit is very, very important and really, really fruitful for both parties, I would say. So then you get to know someone in another center, another context, another culture, another way of working, another way of culture. So everything is a bit new to everyone. Some people say, well, it would be easy if we had it in our center because then we could meet up. Yes, but then you will be too close from a mentorship perspective. Realized I need to invest time in this in order for me to grow. And that's a revelation, if you haven't thought about it before, that you need to reflect. And we talk about that a lot when we started the program, the importance of training yourself how to reflect. Am I doing the right things? How can I do it differently? Your check-in was very fruitful for both of us when we got stuck. And I kind of intervened twice in the program with two couples where I tried to support, and hopefully we made good progress after that. And usually, as always, it's a question of communication. That the mentor was thinking, maybe I'm imposing on my mentor's time too much. Maybe I'm not putting the right questions there. Maybe I'm not interesting enough to discuss. And the mentor was thinking, why isn't he or she bringing the tough subject to the table? So it's so easy to think that you do understand each other. But again, going back to feedback, it's so, so important. Because the next time you have this feeling, it might be your colleague at work, it might be your line manager, it might be a project lead, and then you need to deal with these kind of feelings anyway. So what happens then? I feel like SEI is really investing in me, and I understand SEI much better than I did before. Excellent. It's really starting to pay off now. And some people said that to me in the check-ins, that quite a few actually, that I really don't want to stop seeing my mentor. But again, as I said, that's really up to you. Refreshing to talk to someone outside my center. Our dialogue has been really productive and helped me to think differently. Excellent, excellent job. And I just said that to that mentee. Do tell your mentor that. Do tell him or her. It was totally different from what I thought in the beginning, even better than I hoped. So that's good. To get to know another center is very good. I was afraid I wasted my mentor's time in the beginning, but now I know that I added value to my mentor as well. And I will come back to that when I go into the responses from the mentors. I just want to emphasize this. It's not just you asking for, you're also giving as a mentee to a mentor. And it's just also I was saying before, the revelation to go back in time when you knew as a researcher or when you just joined the organization and you look at the seniors and wonder, why are they doing that? So to build that culture, to understand each other so much better. And it's good because we can learn from it so much from each other. Some more comments from the mentees. I did not think that I would be so honest to someone who did not know me before this program. This was a bit of a concern from some of the mentees. How could I possibly open up and talk to someone about my vision, my life, my ambitions, my dreams to someone who I haven't even met? But as I said, if you do it the right way and follow the structure of the program, it will help you. And the mentors that are selected for you is people that are used to or willing to or interested of listening. So you don't have to be a good mentor just because you're a manager, for example, or a project lead or a senior. You need to have the personal skills of listening, or at least be very interested in. You might have other fantastic skills, but that's what I look for when I look for mentors. Those people that are able to listen and support others and hence support themselves. I've talked a lot and my mentor has been quiet and perhaps not challenged me as much as I would have liked. And I just said to this person, why do you tell me? Did you tell your mentor? So, well, I'm going to in the feedback. I said, that's brilliant, but just think next time, do tell before you start having these thoughts. So, for example, have you said to your mentor that you would like to be positively challenged? Well, not really, maybe not so many words. I said you needed to say that to your mentor. Your mentor might just be waiting for you to give the word, and they could give that to you. It is hard when you're just talking through Skype or through Teams, and you can't see the body language or anything. So you need to meet each other halfway, I think. I was really hard to do the feedback exercise. I'm surprised by myself and my feelings. Again, now you have the possibility to do a real training session in a safe environment. So go for it. Go all in. Really, really put yourself out there and be dead honest as you've never been before. Because it's so good and it's so rewarding afterwards. And it's nice when someone says, I don't understand what you're saying, because then you have to put words in your feelings, what you have seen or not seen, or what you have wanted more from. I would like the program to be at last 2 years. I talked about that before. The program makes me feel like SEI really cares for me, and we do care about you and the mentors and the organization, of course. So that's great. I really enjoyed that I could pick a topic myself, and I'm thankful that my mentor helped me to get into another research area as well. So this particular couple had a very good engagement, and they discussed, and this specific mentee had the possibility to go into other research areas where she might not have been invited, hence the mentor not had met up with her in another center again. So just this fruitful dialogue is so very good. The last one for the mentees. I've recommended the program to others. Thank you very much. I've always felt much better after a session with my mentor, empowered. Excellent. Couldn't be better. Again, do tell your mentor, do tell him or her. I would like to have some more structure, some kind of roadmap would be helpful. Some people say, I do like that there's the structure is just the framework. Some others say, maybe some more structure. But as I say, I always consider this being a program. And the program is one program consisting of 17 projects. And the projects need to have their starting, the platform from where the mentee is. So hence, I do not think I will give more structure in other program. I could, however, I will think about giving you some kind of roadmap, like what's going to happen to you in the program. So that's I could most probably add to the program. But I do understand sometimes you need to have a bit more structure. But I have given tools in every meeting so that you could use, and some people have used and some have not needed the tools, and that's absolutely fine by me. As long as you keep on the dialogue, I wouldn't say I don't care how you do it, as long as you do it, then I'm just happy. Joining SEI is a challenge. No one seems to have the time to help me outside the project, which I think is a bit sad. And again, I said this to this person, and start discussing with your mentor how you could get that feeling to go away. What could you do in order to feel more seen or more help? And what kind of have you said to your line manager or your project lead that you do want some more help? Have you addressed it? And this person said to me, well, then I'm a bit scared that they will not have me in the project. And that's a bit sad, I think, because this is a junior in the organization, not having the guts to go to their seniors and say, I need some more help in order to deliver well for you. And there's quite a few who said this, actually. I do have better understanding of senior position than a challenge now. Excellent. And I find a new friend in the organization. I think that's fantastic as well. Let's go to the mentors then. 9 has says very good, 4 good out of the ones responded, and they seem to be satisfied with their contribution, so that's good. Do you think your mentee is satisfied and equally happy here? So that's brilliant. And do you think that your mentee will continue to have contact? And that's 8.5. So again, make sure that you close the program properly. And either decide that thank you for this time, thank you, good luck in the future, or discuss if you want to continue, even if your mentor is interested or have the capacity to do that. Did you receive feedback? And again, the 8.5 resonates with the one with the mentee, so that's good. Would be a bit tougher if everyone said they've had their feedback and the mentees do not seem to have been given them. So this is good. But again, I want to urge all your mentees who have not done this exercise, the feedback one, that actually do your very best to do it, even though it's hard. And all the mentors that responded have recommended SEI to start a new program as well. Again, all the comments from the survey, just copy paste as before. Maybe to be more strict on the SWOT analysis, so there's a clear structure to the discussions and more feedback on planned actions, clarity on objective. Practical point, we're still in the feedback process. I think it's good to have a written guideline, that's kind of the roadmap, I guess. Being very rewarding to be able to support a young colleague. It's also been very useful for me for self-reflection, understanding how the dynamics in SEI in the office is. For strengthening SEI as a caring workplace, I think it's important to enable these exchanges and provide support to newly recruited staff. So again, very relevant comments, and thank you for that feedback, everyone. Going back to the mentors again, quotations. I'm very positive to the program, and our conversation are sincere and open. My mentee asked me if he or she misused the time, and that it's actually the same person that was a bit troubled whether he or she troubled her mentor enough. So they both had this query actually, and it's a bit sad in a way, because I mean you should have come past that element after nearly a year. But that's also something to discuss. Why didn't we say anything to each other? And we did sense it, both of us. Why didn't any one of us? And what will happen in the ordinary working life if this situation happens? I've been reminded when I was a younger researcher myself. Quite a few of these seniors have said that, which I think is very good. Good to reflect. I've used more time than planned. However, this is not negative. It is more challenging than I expected. We use SWOT, and that worked well for us. And some of you swapped as I recommended in the very beginning, and some of you SWOT now to do a follow-up. Okay, what happened during this year? So that could also be something to work. But again, I don't want to force anyone to use any of the tools. You use whatever fits you, but you need to decide which one to use, obviously. I feel honored to be a mentor, but furthermore, I believe this is a way for me to give feedback or to give back to SEI. Really enjoy seeing the change and development in my mentee during this year. And quite a few have said that, and I think that's fantastic. Can I sign in for a new program? I would like to. So here's someone very eager to be a mentor again. I have your name and number, so I will most definitely get back to you. I have learned new things about how XX Center operates. Trying to keep the confidentiality there. We stopped using the camera for us. That improved the dialogue, and that could be one takeaway. This couple found it a bit easier to discuss, both that it was easier to hear, but also that maybe the body language was a bit troubling, so maybe they just need to talk. So if that works for you, that's absolutely fine. It would be good to offer mids and seniors to development programs like this as well. Yeah, the sky is the limit, obviously. I mean, there's so many groups within SEI that could be enjoying being a part of this kind of program, but we still have to make sure that we have the resources, naming myself, to deliver the program. So I think we need to deliver in a constructive way. However, we can most definitely reflect upon that, and that's something we're going to discuss later. We will continue, someone says. That's great. Some additional tools like guidelines would have been good to have, some kinds of checklist. Most definitely look into that in the next program. We use SWOT, and now we did a follow-up, as I said, on the result 1 year later, and that worked well for us. I've enhanced my listening skill, enjoyable and challenging. It's very, very hard if you used to be the one driving the process to just sit down and practice yourself to just keep your hands in your laps and just listen and try to really listen, not just listen to learn. So that's good. And it's a very good thing to do, a good practice for everyone, I would say. Sometimes I got the sense that the mentor wanted solutions, not so it needs to be very clear on what and how we should support. Absolutely, I will emphasize that in the next program. The mentor is never there to give solutions. It's he or she is there to provide support for you as a mentee to find the solution, because that's when you grow the most. The mentor should obviously have an opinion, that's not what I'm saying, but they should not be the one solving your problems. They should support you to solve your own problems, because that's when you really learn and grow. So good, very good point. As useful for me, as for my mentee to reflect. It feels great to have a meeting where I can focus on reflection and development and not delivery. I use time leaving office for our dialogues that work well for us. And obviously, since we all are in all kinds of the world now, we need to find ways how to make this work for the best possible way. And that's, again, the individual pairs that needs to discuss how we should interact with each other, whether it's going to be late or midday or later that day or whatever. And it seems to be working well for everyone. And thanks to Ian, we have the possibility to record this. So even though you're not up and awake now, you can see it tomorrow or during the weekend with a glass of wine with the family, possibly, if you have nothing else more important to do. More target groups could benefit from this. Again, could this support be developed for us Meds? Yes, absolutely. We focused on the dialogue and did not need any other tools. I still enjoy to be in this reflection mode, does not just deliver enjoyable. We'll keep the program. We need to keep the programs. Quite a few of the mentors said that as well, as in addition to the mentees. Interesting to see the organization with other eyes. Good for the cross-center collaboration. Again, the feedback. Excel was very good. It's very, very, very simple. You just have a paper in front of you, but then you have to fill it with your own words, and that's where the tricky part is. And we talk a lot about feedback in this organization, and it is very important. We need to train on, not just in SEI, everywhere. This is the biggest challenge, I would say, for lots of organizations, but still we all need to practice both on giving and receiving feedback. And again, if you haven't done your homework, if you haven't done the feedback session to your to your mentor, you need to do it. And as a mentor, you should demand to get it. I think that's so. Push your mentee to give that solid and really make sure that you challenge each other. So you really, really has to stand your ground to your reflections and your thoughts. That's a very, very good experience. And if you have forgotten, I will send this presentation package out again. You'll have it here. So no one can say, I forgot all about that question. You've seen it before, I know that. And I know that some of you are struggling with it. And as I said to someone, I actually offered that someone to do feedback to me, like I was the mentor. So just to go training in case you want to have that. So I'm absolutely positive to that as well, of course. Again, before I close for today, and I just want to say a very warm, very, very warm thank you to everyone who participated in the program. Thank you so much for sharing, for being both mentors and mentees in the program. So to each and every one of you, I would like to give a little flower, at least like this, a little heart. And extremely pleased with all the mentees and you mentors, how you participated, and thank you again for sharing your experience. Learned a lot from me, and I learned a lot from this program as well. And last but not least, then, is there a new program planned? And as also said, this is going to be discussed, and I also said that in after the Science Forum at GMC. So we're going to have the discussion, and it's very likely, anyway, that we're going to start a new program in the spring. But I will come back to you via your center directors or via Måns, if that's the case. But the ambition is there, and the result is most definitely there. And I'm being so rude asking you for stay for such a long time, and then I just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But I know the time is not fantastic, especially for Bangkok, for example. I'm sorry for that, for everyone in Bangkok office forcing you to stay up all night. But still, I just want to ask Ian, do we have any reflections or comments?
No.
No?
Niall's there, Emily's there,
Oh.
Eldine's there, Maria's there.
Perfect.
People watching.
Good, good. No comments. And just as my comments, also one thing that it's the tricky, because some people, why should we work? How can we work for more interaction in these kind of meetings? And I would love to have that. The challenge is that it's so personal, and I don't want to make people feel unease in this. So I don't want to force people to say anything or comment on anything, because you have commented to me, and I know, and I try to share that. And you obviously need to discuss that with your mentor or your mentee. So it's not that I don't want to hear your opinion or not I'm being rude. I just don't want to put people on the place where they don't feel comfortable. So then, Ian, I look at you and you smile back. I'm so happy. So everyone, thank you so much, and a very big thank you for Ian for being so supportive and professional as always. And thank you everyone for the program, and thank you for your kindness of sharing. So take care wherever you are. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.